Food series. What is texture? You're walking on a carpet and then you walk on a wood floor. You feel it in your feet. I have a wool shirt on and she has a cashmere blouse on. Mine feels that thing. Remember what the Silk Road is in China to Europe? Yes. Why there was a Silk Road? Because people wore wool. Maybe they wore cotton, maybe they wore linen, but they basically wore wool. Scratchy, full of fleas. And those who could afford it wore silk shirts, and that was the status. Oh, you better know it. Texture is the difference between a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken I just got from there and I eat, and the same chicken a day later. Is it crispy? It's not. Oh, well, yeah, something like that. Yes. There is, of course, the other one is pizza. Being a college student, pizza at night is a totally different than pizza in the morning after it's been in the refrigerator for 6 hours. Yes. That's texture for you. Texture in mashed potatoes, texture in sauces, textures on all meats. You can tell the difference. Your tongue is there and it's there. You know, you can tell the difference between something bitter and something sour, something sweet, and you can even usually tell the difference between honey and maple syrup, and sugar. Or I'll put it this way, a texture is a taste of the difference between American Coca-Cola and Mexican bottle Coca-Cola. There is American Coca-Cola is corn syrup. Mexican Coca-Cola is sugar cane, and there's a big taste difference there. If I had my choice of drinking Coca-Cola, American Coca-Cola or Mexican Coca-Cola, I would take the bottle. There's a big difference in taste, and it's not so much as texture but taste. And texture is what's the difference between say roast beef at a restaurant. Oh, let me see. Yeah, a roast beef at a good restaurant and what I cook at home in my microwave. There's a big difference there. That's texture for you. And again, like sauces, it can be lumpy, it can be sweet, it can be bitter, it can be ick. When I make it, it usually is not exactly what I will get in a restaurant. And I like to, when I could afford it, I used to go with Wayne down to a place in Cermak? Yeah, off of Cermak. It's a little restaurant. Cermak in Harlem or something like that. And it's almost to say it's a 24-hour restaurant. It's a little itty bitty thing, but I like their steak and eggs. Yes, or steak and pancakes. It's good steak. A lot better than what I make. Maybe not the best in the what is some steak restaurant popular? Yeah, the big difference. There's a big difference in taste. You can taste it. I can taste it. It's kind of like It's kind of like cheeses. I remember working at Kraft. Since I was always tested for fat, I would get this cheese for a specialty cheese that's created in-house in the pilot plant. They make cheeses, and it was a special cheese made for Mike Miles, who was president at that time when I was there. When he became president of Philip Morris, but when he became president, when he was there, Mike Miles had a cheese made specially for him, and which would be served in wheels. And only his thing was, it was special flavor of that thing. I would get involved in that back in flavor, but it was a texture that you could taste. It's the feel in the mouth, and it was made especially for him and his parties, and he paid for it. It wasn't a freebie that Kraft had. It was a special cheese that he was developed for him, and only him. And I think the vice president of R&D at Kraft, Bob Vickers, also had one. He paid for it. There's no freebie here, because it was his taste, texture of the cheese, and no one could get it anywhere else. I did get. They say, "How do you like this as a cheese?" And it's not American Singles, I'll tell you that much. it's real, and nobody else could get that cheese. I think when they left, Mike Miles went to Philip Morris, and it went with him. Ever so often, there would be an order for cheese for Mike Miles, and the cheese people would make it up for him. And the same thing with McVickers. As they said, it's their texture and flavor and a special way of doing something. Something like texture, I would think, is like a chocolate chip cookie from Carps, who created a delicious in-house chocolate chip cookie that you can buy at a restaurant, but you can't buy. Restaurants would buy the stuff would be baked in the Carps bakery. I know I went from R&D down to bakery and back and forth, and it was a special Carps cookie. Delicious. You also have the texture, the feel, and what have you. These are what we do. It's like back to Kentucky Fried Chicken. What's the difference between my Kentucky Fried Chicken I just got from the Kentucky Fried Chicken bucket and the stuff that sits in the refrigerator and I eat the next day? A big difference. Same thing, yes, but there's a big difference, just like the pizza. A student, you get a great big pizza at night and you save it the other day for the next morning. And there's a big difference in texture. But that's life, yeah. And that's texture. My next thing is going on flavors. Okay.